and Google developer experts. She'll be speaking about our opening keynote and inspiration for community building. She's none other than Miss Ni Nguyen, and let us give her a big round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Can you say some word that describes you're feeling right now? Xin chào. Wow, you know Vietnamese? Amazing. Any other words or thought? How do you feel right now? Great. Amazing. What else? Nothing? Oh, excited. It's amazing. I love that. Anything else? What else? Nothing? What do you expect today? Google developers programs. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming and looking for more information about Google developer programs. So it's my pleasure to be here today. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Nhi, and I am community manager from Google Developer Relation Teams. I'm helping to developer communities in Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and Greater Mekong countries. And to be honest, this is the second time I have a chance to speak at the GDG Manila events. So I was there last year in JetFest. Any of you attended JetFest last year? Well, not bad, around 10. And any of you like today is the first time you attend the Google I/O? It include me. Oh, so you are like fans of GDG Manila's events, right? I'm happy to hear about that. So I hope you will enjoy the Google I/O stand at Manila today. We try to use this opportunity to learn more new things, to connect with more like-minded people, and to get more opportunities. And especially, I hope you will have fun and be happy today. Okay, so can I use my slide? Okay, I can click here. Okay, I have one question. Have you ever been at Google I/O in US? No one? Yeah, I realize I'm so lucky because I have two time to attend Google I/O in US. And this is a picture of mine when I was there in 2016 and 2018. And actually, these opportunities open eye-opening minds and bring me many opportunities, many experience. And maybe that's one of the thing like make me for this today to work at the Google communities. And that's why I go today with the topic about community building. Yeah. And to share with you about today is very basic concept like what the community is, how are the community in Philippines, why the communities, and how you can get involved in the community in Philippines. The first thing is about what community is. So it's a small or large social units that have things like norms, values, identity in common. So I believe today you go here, so you will share the commons like values, like the interesting, and we can share the resource and support each other, and we build the relation and collaborate. Why we build the communities? So in around the world, Google right now we run four main communities. You may know about any of you know about Google Developer Group? Yes, that's the organizer who hosting the event today. So for example, usually we have the Google I/O. It's hosted by Google in US, and this year we have the concept of Google I/O Connect. This is four main other Google I/Os in four main areas, and then in all the countries, all the cities, the community lead GDG will host the Google I/O Extended. It means like they bring the topic and localize with localized speakers or localize with the content in the communities. The second program is Women Tech Maker. The next one is Google Developer Experts, looking for the individuals who are experts in Google technologies. And the last one is Google Developer Student. And I will share with you later on the detailed information. But why the build the communities? It's the opportunity for us to learn and grow, to share and connect. And actually, I believe together we can achieve more than we just do in our own. And we can have to inspire and build a better world. So right now I will share with you how our Philippines communities around four main program as I mentioned. Actually, we also have a program for startup accelerators, but within the developer community world, which I am managing. So here's the four main programs. Firstly, about the Google Developer Student Clubs. In Philippines right now, we have 40 chapters in from 40 universities in Philippines. And usually they run the activity within a year. From last year, August, until now, they run around 325 events. And they go through, having 25,000 IT students within the university. That's very impressive numbers. And this is one of achievement from student in Philippines from GDSC Viewport University in Philippines. And this year, a team from this university achieved the Solution Challenge Top 100 in South Asia. And that is an online health consultant and social platform to connect patients with medical professionals and health organizations. And this year, in August, there will a demo days to showcase all the top 10 solution challenge around the world. The next one I want to share with you about the Google developer communities. In South Asia, we have 38 communities, and in Philippines, we have 9. GD Manila is one of the community who leading to helping to support the developer communities. And just some numbers like 100% chapter in Philippines, they host Google I/O standards, and they will host the Google at the Dev Fest this year. Want to go through the next communities is about women tech makers, and here are the representative of women tech maker ambassador for each chapters. And as you have just had chance to Matt Chasting, is one of our ambassador in Philippines. And the last one is about the experts. In Philippines right now, we have seven. We have 7 Google developer experts in cloud, in web, machine learning, Flutter, Kotlin, and especially, last year at the DevFest, I shared with all the, I cannot remember exactly, around 500 participants. Like at last time when in my presentation, I shared the like its expectations. Like at that time, we don't have any female Google developer experts from Philippines, but this year something happens. Until now, we officially have the new female Google developer experts in Philippines. Yeah, her name is Claire, and today I would love to take this opportunity to invite her to share a little bit about her journeys, how to become the first female Google developer experts in Philippines. And after that, I will go with you with some updates, how you can involve with these all the activities in Philippines. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So this is me. so okay, next slide, please. Wait. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing a really quick talk about my journey. So it's entitled "From Attendee to GDE" because let me start off that I was once like you. Like I was also an attendee on these GDG events, and I have learned a lot. And since college, I have been like a frequent attendee, and that's how my journey started. So this is actually like Women Tech Makers 2014, almost 9 years ago. So I'm also inspired by the women who are really pushing for breaking the barriers and representation and inclusivity in the tech industry, right?
And so, yeah, in Cebu. So I'm from Cebu. I'm a frequent attendee also of GDG events in Cebu. So this is like DevFest 2014 and IO Extended 2014. And so, yeah, professionally, I'm also like a software engineer myself. So apart from attending these community events, I kept on learning and try to be better every day at my job, right? So I learned many technologies and whatever interests me, I learn it, and then I try to really master it to become like it's one of my expertise. And so okay, so actually, then I decided to level up from an attendee. I tried to level up to be a speaker, a technical speaker. So this is my first gig with GDG Cebu. It's Women Tech Makers event way back 2018. It's actually like women in development because at that time I was a freelancer. So I'm giving some tips on how to actually like get into the freelancing industry. Also, what technologies are in the market. Yeah. So and also, like, I kept on sharing as a technical speaker. So whatever interests me, whether that be machine learning, cloud, IoT, web, so I'm basically almost everywhere. So yeah, these are some of the talks that I did, and also like yeah, machine learning basics, and also I teach kids how to code in Python. So I think that coding is for everyone. It's not just for professionals and students, but also kids, right? We need to empower the next generation of coders. And so yeah, my latest was yeah 2022 Bacolod Dev Fest. And apart from that, I also like have passion projects. Like I always believe that there are also like very talented people in the mountains. So every December I go to like some random school in the mountains in Cebu and really do like a robotics workshop out there. And also like with my 13th month salary, I actually like buy some robotics kit for them to donate. So it's something that I do as a Thanksgiving every year for the blessings that I get. And yeah, I become an organizer too. So yeah, like you know the normal things that you do in an event, like you know like registration and distributing of snacks. So I was also like every like the organizers of GDG Manila here. And then still volunteering to community. Like I also become one of the core members of GDG Cebu way back 2020. And also like volunteering to other grassroots community like Pizza Pie Python users group, React Cebu, JavaScript Cebu, and Facebook Developer Circle Cebu. So I'm one of the lead organizers of these organizations. So that's how important community is. So it can really help you with your career, your personal development, as well as your career development. And yeah, something happened way back 2020. A random post from Miss Janice from SE, Google SE Developer Relations about Women Developer Academy. So I just tried my luck and filled up the form, and then I got accepted, and I got to join the cohort. So Women Developer Academy is actually like a program that would teach women to be more good at being a technical speaker. So what topics you should talk about, how would you lay out your content, what is a good title, and how to present yourself in front of a stage. So these are the things that I learned in WDA. And next, another thing happened. So this is last year, and then I tried to apply again. There's a Road to GDE cohort 4. So I actually applied to it to be mentored to become a GDE. So I was mentored by one of the awesome Firebase GDEs, Shangi Lim from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And during that 3-month mentorship, I learned about technical writing, about technical content creation, community, and how to really become a GDE. So, and then yeah, I finished the Road to GDE program on December 2022. However, things are not always rainbows and unicorns, right? So I was only able to apply around April 2023 because I got sick for the first quarter of the year, and I also fell into depression. But I'm so happy with Mother Me
Please give her a round of applause. She's really supportive and she actually like always ping me on Facebook and email like, Cleo, where's your application? Let's apply now, and always try to encourage me and give me opportunities to talk. Like for example, I think it was the Bang Far-based workshop in Bangkok, which unfortunately I was not able to attend. But yeah, she's really supportive and she's giving me more avenues to enhance my application and to really push through for this initiative. And so, level up again from speaker to GDE. So, from May 23, 2023, I become a Google Developer Expert for Firebase. And life as a GDE since then, of course, we started it with a bang. So after a month that I become a GDE, I did a talk about introduction to Firebase and also did a code lab with Flutterfire. So Flutterfire is like the plugin for Flutter and Firebase. And then last June 24, no, 28, I attended IO Connect in Bangalore, India. And so still with a bang, right? Upcoming talk. So I will be doing a talk with GDG Cloud Hanoi next week. And then also for the other chapters here in the Philippines, on August 5, it's going to be like GDG Cebu, August 12, GDG Cloud Manila, and in August 26, GDG Zamboanga. And so, yeah, it's always like my motivation, right? Like my motto in life to make the world a better place, one source code at a time. But don't forget to enjoy life. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much, and that's an amazing journey, right? So thanks for sharing about the journeys, and I believe they will showing like how important and why we have the communities around here. And now, how you get to get involved in Philippine developer communities. So I will start with this year. So around March, all of 9 chapters in Philippines are running International Women Days, and these are some pictures from that. And in the upcoming this month and next month, July and August, we have 6 more upcoming Google iOS standards. So in case you keen on about the topic, about the content, about the speakers, so feel free to reach out. And if you want to reach out over Philippines, over countries, you can access this link to, you can search, when you search the Philippines here, you can see all detailed events in Philippines. And actually, if you search any countries around the world, you can access all the event activity there. And here are some last slide about for anyone who interested in cloud. So we offer a
really leans on Flutter, but I'm super excited on the upcoming talks for these Google I/O Extended Manila. So I'll just say all of them. So I hope everyone is excited and let's get it on.
All right, thank you, Joshua. So you win our t-shirt prize for today. So next, last volunteer. I would like to ask questions for the last. All right. Any volunteers? Which topic are you most excited for? Hmm. Oh, hi. Hi, O'Neill. O'Neill. So yeah, which topic are you most excited for?
Same with the first person. I'm excited for everything here, but for a little bit biased, I'm on the cloud side. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited as well. So you win our t-shirt swag. So thank you everyone for participating. All right, Googlers, has any one of you have heard about generative AI? Has any one of you have heard it? I'm sure you have heard of it as well. So I know that you are interested about our topic. So to get to know more about our next speaker, he is a Google developer expert for GCP and a senior software engineer with 6+ years of India. Let's give it up for Vaibhav Malpani.
Okay, thank you for a lovely introduction. My name is Vaibhav. I'm a GD for GCP and I'm also an organizer from Mumbai. And I'm here all the way from Mumbai just to give this talk. So this is my LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me, have any questions around anything, be it about Gen AI or anything else, I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay, so this is the first line. How many of you know OpenAI? And we like to keep this as interactive as possible. So please answer whenever I ask anything, if you feel so. So how many of you know OpenAI? You can just raise your hands. You know, how many of you know ChatGPT? Yeah. So ChatGPT is built by OpenAI, right? And so co-founder of OpenAI says, right, generative AI is the next big thing in the artificial intelligence, and it also says it has the potential to revolutionize the way we create and consume content, right? I think this is not. It is going to change. I think it has already changed. How many of you have used ChatGPT to write emails? How many of you have used it to write LinkedIn posts? Right? Everybody does that already. So it is not something like a future thing. We are going to do this. I believe we already are doing it. Right? So generative AI is not something it is going to come. It's already here. And I like to explain how we can use this in our code. So generally, I don't. I like to focus this talk around how do you use this in your own code rather than okay just go to ChatGPT, type there, That's the only difference. Okay, so I'll suggest you try out BART. So what we write anything in BART, let's say, is called prompt. But just writing any kind of prompts will not give you a perfect results, right? So there's something called prompt design, wherein that it's called art and science of figuring out, what text you should put to get the correct answer for your question, right? So how it works is it's in three types. So one is called zero shot prompt, and by the way, I'll show you examples of all of those things. So first is zero shot, wherein you don't tell or give any context or anything to your LLM model, and you ask a question, right? And then you get a reply. Is it correct or not? That's a different case. But if you don't give anything and you just ask a question, that's called zero shot prompt. One shot is you give an example. Okay, this is what my question would look like. This is what my answer would look like. And now you ask a similar question, and it will answer you in a similar way that you have told it in the first one. And what's many shot is multiple iterations of one shot, right? So you give instead of one, you give it 4, 5, and then on basis of all those things, it's able to understand and give you the response. The response, I mean the answer in the way that you have already told him to. So what is Model Garden? So Model Garden is a place in Vertex AI. You can go to something called Model Garden, and then you will find pre-trained machine learning models. There you can build and deploy the models then and there. You don't have to go to any other place. Everything can be done inside Vertex AI, inside the Model Garden. So I'll also show you the UI and all everything. Then it will be easier for you to understand. But Model Garden has these many types of models, and they are adding each and every day. So image classification, object detection, NLP, speech recognition, right? So what are the use cases, right? Just now we talked about few use cases like writing emails, blog posts, all of those things. But there are more use cases, right? So one is art and design, where you generate art or designs or animations using GenAI. I don't remember the exact name, but there was one game who have generated their art. So there was some fighting kind of game, and they generated all the arts using generative AI. They did not have an animator or some graphic designer, anyone. They generated all those characters from GenAI, directly put it in the app, and they are using it. So that's a really good use case, right? Content creation, like we talked about email, that's kind of a content. Storytelling is also one different type of content, right? Game development I just talked about, and data visualization, wherein you just say, okay, take this data, give me what was the weather in Manila for the last 5 days in a graph. So it is also able to do that kind of things. It will give you a Python code which you can run, and you will get the graph. Okay, so image classification, right? You say it's a dog or just a cat kind of thing. Text classification, you just give an article and you say, I want this article to be one of those 3 articles. Tell me if this article is one of those 3, and it's easily able to say, okay, this article belongs to technology or whatever. Sentiment analysis is quite easy. You just give a text and you say, what is the sentiment of this text, and is it positive, negative, or neutral? It will be able to predict that as well. And question answering is you just ask questions and it will remember what the context was in the previous question. I'll show you an example of this as well. Okay, demo time. I'd like to show a few pictures that I've generated using GenAI. And believe me or not, these are generated image. So I've written few texts which will show you what was my prompt to generate the image and what was the image generated. Excited? Yeah. Okay, let's look at the first one. So the prompt I gave was a lot of birds with a lot of trees and flowers. Right, so it is able to understand, okay, I'm talking about birds, I'm talking about trees. You can see here there are trees at the end, at that part, and there are flowers as well. Looks good? Okay, we'll see more. Now you say sharks inside water with corals. Right? It's able to understand sharks. It's understanding corals. It's inside water. Right? It gets better. Believe me. So you say living room made with modern architecture. Now you say made with ancient architecture. Whatever you want, right? Let's say you want to build your own house in an ancient architecture. uh, you can use this or take ideas from it, right? It says New York 100 years ago, right? If you look at the cars, it's from 100 years ago, right? The cars look. Is it visible at the back as well? Okay. Um, so this I was just trying out yesterday, which says beautiful beach, people playing in water, beautiful sky with sunset. Right. So it has taken into consideration each and everything, not like letting it out, like not. It has actually understood everything, which is beautiful beach, people playing sunset. Now what I'll do is I'll just add a single thing. How many of you know anime here? Anime fans? Okay. So I put the same prompt and I just put in anime style. Looks like anime? Yeah? So it's able to understand all of those things as well. Uh, I had some other examples wherein I say in a Picasso style. How many of you know Picasso? Right? So you can do that also, and it's able to build an image which is in a Picasso style. Right? So this is my favorite one, which says, so you say mud house with waterfall in the swimming pool with sofa and fireplace. So I just put any random things. I just wanted to check what it will do, right? But it was able to do it. So it's a waterfall. There's a waterfall. There's a swimming pool. There's a sofa. There's a fireplace, right? So looks very nice. And also it's a mud house, right? If you just see it, it's a mud house. Um, and this is Minions on Moon, right? There could be a movie with this one. So just it understand what's Minion, right? For us, it looks okay. I know Minion, but the model also understand the Minion. How would it look? Then it places it on the moon. So it's kind of a nice thing, right? Okay. Anyone wants to try out a prompt to generate the image? I have the model here. Okay, so maybe I'll also explain what I have done. So this is Vertex AI. You go to GCP, you go to Vertex AI. There's something called Workbench, wherein you can run your own Jupyter notebook. How many of you know Jupyter notebooks? Very few. Okay, just think of it as it is a environment wherein you can run your Python code. That's the easiest way I could explain Jupyter notebooks. So I have run this Jupyter notebook. Anyone wants to try out? So if I want to show you the code looks very simple, right? You just do pip install a few things. It will install a few things, and then this that's the only code, right? So I was also trying fishes inside the deep blue sea, and this is what it generated. Anyone wants to try out a prompt? I'll just try it out right now. Anyone? Please don't feel shy, and let's keep this interactive. No one wants to try? Yeah, please.
Location-based response. So, just to have an example, can we have a prompt of train in Manila?
Train in Manila.
Rain.
Rain in Manila. I have no idea. Let's see. You want to add something else to it?
Probably just enough.
That's enough.
Strong rains in Manila.
Sorry. Strong rain. Okay. Okay. So I have kept it to build. It might take around 2 minutes or so. Till that time, I'll go ahead with my next things, which is so Sendra, right? So I've not trained a single image. I've just told, okay, I've given this image. What animal is this? So it says Sendra. Similarly, I've done for this. So it says vulture, 79%, right? Without like zero training. So this is one more thing that I want to show you, which is around text. So I'll show you how the code is. So I can focus on the use cases later, but I'll also show you what the code is. So code is very easy. I've just put this credentials and then just this much line of code. You can directly copy paste this code. I can also share this later on. What happens is that the prompt that I've given here is, for each of the following categories, create 3 one-sentence ad copies with the product description provided. So what I say is, these are the categories where I say scarcity, loss aversion, all of those categories. And the product description that I've given is the iPhone 14. So I just took the first line from Wikipedia. You can also check, it's the exact same line. So I just took the first line, I gave him as a context, and then I say, okay, create ads for this. Now see what it has done. You able to read, or should I zoom in? Zoom in? Is this visible? Visible? No? Okay. Should I zoom in more? Is this visible? Okay. So see, I've given him so many types, right? Scarcity, all those things. So let's look at the first one. So it says scarcity, and I just read out any one of those. So it says iPhone 14 is selling out fast, so act now before it's too late. Right? Creating a scarcity kind of thing. So you can say, let's say, appeal to ego. The iPhone 14 is the ultimate status symbol. Right? Exclusivity. The iPhone 14 is the only most exclusive, is only for the most exclusive users. Right? So all of those things. Let's say you, the use case here is, let's say you have a marketing person, and you are a marketing person, and you want to build out your what do you call, marketing campaigns around this. You can just ask him and he'll do it for you, right? You don't have to think a lot. Maybe you can, I'll just speak the last one. The iPhone 14 is the ultimate luxury phone. iPhone 14 is the perfect phone for anyone who wants to be the best of the best, right? So all of those things it can try. Maybe I'll just move to the next one. So the next one is title generation, wherein what I do is, again, it's the same exact code. I just change the prompt, wherein I've given him, so this is, I spoke about, right, 0 shot, few shot. So this one becomes like a few shot. So I tell him this, if this is the article, so it's a very big article, but so I say this is the article, the title of the article can be this. Okay, I similarly give him 3-4 examples, and then I say, okay, this is the article, the title of the above article can be, right? So we don't have time to read the article, but we have to just go with it. But this is something that it can do, which is how we are teaching robots to learn from each other. So that's kind of a sums up the article, right? So you write the article. Let's say you're not able to think of the top name, you just say, give me the name of the article. This is a funny one. So you say pirate talk. You know pirate, right? Everyone know pirates. So how do they talk, right? They don't talk like us, right? They talk in a bit of a different tone. So I have just tried few things, which is, hi friend, how are you? How would a pirate say this, right? So it says, "Her matey, how be ya?" Something like that, right? I say, learn as you will live forever, live like you will die tomorrow. So I just took a quote from an internet and I asked a pirate to say it, right? So it says, maybe you can read it, I cannot read in a pirate way, which is yeah or whatever. So this is the output, right? And it's not, just converting that into the same thing, right? It's changed, live like you will die tomorrow, but learn as if you will forever. And it's not the same response you will get every day. So let me try this once more. So I just ran it again. And you see, it will give me so it give me a bit different response. Like, you can never learn too much, but you do not be a fool and risk your life for knowledge. So it gives me a different response every time that I try it. And in one of the response, it also gave me a reference to Davy Jones. How many of you know Davy Jones? Okay. So can you tell who is Davy Jones? Cannot hear you. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what it's also arguable that it is fictional or not, but yeah, Davy Jones is a very famous pirate. So in one of those lines, it's also say, it says, live forever like you will die tomorrow, right? So live like you will die tomorrow. So in one of the response, it says, live like, you will not go to the Davy Jones chest, something like that. So it's also getting that context out of there. I hope it would have given you that response here, but yeah, no problem. This one is also a great use case. Before that, anyone wants to try see the image? Yeah. Strong rain in Manila. So by the way, this was the image it generated. Looks like Manila and a very strong rain. Anyone else want to try out a prompt? We still have some time. No one? Yeah, please.
I actually wrote it down. Batman riding a unicorn
Okay, something funny.
in a business street.
Okay, so you'll have to repeat that for me. So Batman
Riding a unicorn
riding a unicorn.
in a business street.
Yeah. Street. Anything you want to add?
Painting.
Sorry?
A painting. Business street, then painting. Painting.
Painting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that won't be required. I think in this actually will be a painting only. I'll just start. Again, it might take 2 or 3 minutes. Till that time, I'll again go here and show you few of the text related ones. I can see a lot of smiling faces, excited for what it will generate. Okay, even I am. So one of them is chat agent summarization, wherein what I've done is I've given a conversation that happened between an agent and a customer. So think of a use case wherein you own a company, like a support related company, and you have all the transcripts from the agent and the customer what they talk, and you give that to the agent, to the model, and you say, okay, this is all what the agent and customer talked about. So a lot of things, and at the end, it is able to summarize that the customer called to create a Google Cloud account, use the free credits, blah blah blah. Right? It's able to understand what the two people were talking about. And at the start, I think I forgot to show you. So it also says summarize the following conversation with the agent's perspective. Right? So you also get to do that. Object classification. So again, I showed about the article classification in one of my slides. Let's say there are a few objects. So I say this is a multi-choice problem. What is the category of the object? And I only give him these many kinds of objects. So you have to choose, or whatever text that I give, you have to give me an answer from one of these. So I say recliner. How many of you know what is a recliner? In which category will it fit? Chair, yeah. So it gives me an answer as chair. This I think would not fit in this. How many of you know Jersey guy, Jersey cow? Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's a cow that we have in India. It's a well-known cow called Jersey cow, and that's why it's able to answer that as well. So it's very India specific. So this might not work, but this works all over the world, right? Everyone know husky? Yeah. So you say husky, and it's also able to predict that if you're talking about dog. Let's see if this is done. Okay. Still building. So there's one more use case which is text analysis, wherein you give him. So this is the context. This I've exactly copy pasted from Wikipedia about Harry Potter, and now I can ask him questions about the same. Right. So I just copy pasted from the Harry Potter this thing, and I just say name the characters. Right. So it is able to say, okay, you see, lives in young wizard, Harry Potter, his friends Hermione and Ron Weasley. So it's able to understand the whole Wikipedia page and give you a response as you require, right? So when was the first book released? So it says June 26, 1997. By the way, if you see, this is called something as zero shot prompting, wherein I don't give him any examples. I just give him context, ask him a question. He's supposed to answer. So estimated cost of Harry Potter books, so it's around 25 billion. So all of those things you get, right? This I already talked, right? Email writing. So I just say write an email thanking the participants listening to your talk. So this is the email that I will write for you. Let's say if I have to send you. So it also understands a lot of things, and social media posts. You also do something like this, wherein you say write a social media post after I've given talk on generative AI with using Model Garden and generative AI Studio. So it also gives me a title, a body, all of those things. I can just copy and paste it on my LinkedIn. By the way, for the last 1 month or so, all the posts on my LinkedIn have been generated. I have not written a single post myself. So yeah, I'm just putting it out here. General question answering. So this is something I talked about, right? It understands and keeps your context, whatever question you ask. So the first question I asked, who is the president of US, right? So it says Joe Biden. Then I say, what is his height? So it also says me that, and then I keep on asking, right? So what is his wife's name? So it's also able to understand I'm still talking about Joe Biden, right? And I could have even asked more things, and it will still remember and will let you know. Okay. Doesn't look like a unicorn though. And not so good, right? Yeah. So it's all will turn down to how prompts are. Maybe if we do a better prompt engineering, we could get something better. Uh, Maybe I'll just try one more thing, which is I remove this busy street. Uh, and I specifically say riding on a unicorn. Okay, let's try this also. Before that, I'll also go to this one. SQL queries. How many of you know SQL? How many of you know MongoDB? How many of you know Elasticsearch? Have you ever felt like, oh, I don't want to write this query? Yeah, every time. So don't worry. So this is a really good use case. I like to show this use case on my PPT because yeah. So if you see, wherein I say write a SQL query to get the max salary of employees from all departments. Now the response he gets me is SQL select max salary from employees. Now I ask him, okay, give me from each department, right? So it does group buys on department ID. But now I also want the department name, and let's say I tell him the department name is not present. So the first time I did, I just told him I also want the department name. So he just went ahead and gave me group by department name. But generally we don't keep it, right? We don't keep the department name in the employee table. So I told him, okay, the department name is in the departments table. So it's also able to do that, wherein it has done join. If you see, he has also done aliasing, which is a very good practice that we follow, right? And it's also able to give me the response group by department name. So it's also able to give me that response. Sounds good? So yeah, this, and let's say I just wanted to change this to MongoDB. Instead of SQL, I work with MongoDB. Not a problem, right? I've kept the exact same prompt, just changed SQL to MongoDB, and if it's not visible in the whole thing, but how, like if you're able to understand, right? It has done the group by here, it has done the lookup. You understand lookup, right? So it has done the lookup on the department ID field and have got me that result as well. And not only that, it has also explained me, what the query is going to do, right? Yeah. So I think that's it. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show. I still have time, right? I have time. Okay, sure. Maybe I don't know if this is done. Okay, it's not done. One new thing that has been recently introduced, something called Duet AI. How many of you heard about Duet AI? Oh, okay, only one. It's very new. The power that I want to show is you want to build a code not on Bard or ChatGPT and then copy it there, paste it here, do all of those things. Right? How many of you know which editor I'm using? Can someone say? VS Code, right? Everyone uses VS Code. Let's see. So I just say copy file from local folder to GCS bucket, right? And the power is, let's say this is a py file, right? Python file. So I just say generate code, Okay. Shouldn't take this much time. Let me try again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See. So it has generated the code, and it is not actually put it. It's in gray format, right? So if you think this is a good enough code, you can just do tab, and it will write the code. Let's say you are not happy with this code, right? So there are also three. You see one of three? Is it able to see? Maybe I'll zoom. Okay, I cannot zoom in VS Code, but there is. So you see 1/3 which says this is first of the three. Then there is another one which is 2 of 3, 3 of 3. The code changes a bit, but if I just do tab, it's writing the code for me. Right? Let's try more difficult ones. So this is a very easy one, right? So let's say function to generate RSA encryption using what private key with an example, right? So I've not just given generate a like RSA encryption. I've also given him more tough things to do, right? Give me an example. I want a private key to be like a local private key, not a generated private key. Um, by the way, how many of you know RSA encryption? Okay, very few. So it's just a way to encrypt your code, your data. I don't know. Okay. It's taking a bit of time. Maybe the Wi-Fi, but generally it comes in like 2 or 3 seconds max. So if you see, it has given me a RS encryption, decryption, code. It's also given. So it's not given me an example here. Let's see if in the next one he has given me. Okay. Yeah. So it's also given me an example over here. Maybe I can see the fourth one as well. So there are a lot of things. If you want anyone to try out, you can try out, right? Let me try one last thing here, which is I give him very specific things. So I don't know if I can show you all those three, but first I gave him function to classify animals in an image. So it just gave me a very random function. Then I told him I want how many of you know Hugging Face? Yeah, Hugging Face is a repository where a lot of open source models are kept. So you just say function to classify image using a Hugging Face model. So it will also give you that exact code. Now I also say with import statement. So in the second last one that I tried out, it was not giving me the import statements. Then I say okay, give me the import statements as well. So it's also able to understand and give me the import statements. Till the time this is generating, I'll like to see. Okay. Bit better, but the unicorns don't look good, right? Yeah. So it all will come down to prompt engineering. Like I told, the better your prompt gets, I think if I give it more details, I think it will be able to do a much better job. Maybe I just say one unicorn instead of unicorn. Something like that. If I do, it will keep on getting better till the time you get a good image. But it's still better than what we gave earlier, right? Okay. Yeah, I was on VS Code. So this was not actually a part of my talk. This I think got released maybe 2 or 3 days ago. But I just thought maybe I just include this. Yeah, if you see, it's taking models from Hugging Face, also given me import statements, all of those things. I just do tab. The code is here. I can give an image. It will give me an output. Sounds good? It gets better though. This was a PY file, right? Let's say how many of you work with JS, or how many of you work with JS, JavaScript? Yeah. So everybody would be thinking, okay, what is the use if this is only for Python? Well, it's not. Just by understanding that this is a JS file, it understands that okay, I need to give my answers also in JS. So I just say compare two images and find similarity in percentage. Right? A tough thing to do for JavaScript, right? I just copied that, pasted it, and did extract code. Yeah, so it's able to do that. So I'm not a JS person. I don't know if this code is correct or not, but I've seen 90% of the things are generally correct. I wouldn't say it's 100% all okay, but it will do the 90% work for you. You can do the rest then, right? So it's done something around math. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if it's correct or not. If anyone understands, I think it's good. This I think would be a good use case, right? You just have a JS file and it understands that. Not only to JS. Let's say you work with Go. Not a lot of people work with Go, but let's say you do the same thing in Go. It works the same. How many of you work with Java? Right? So you can do the same thing in Java as well. So you do, let's say I do copy file from local folder to GCS. It understands everything. It will also give me a public static void main string args. All of those things it will write for me. See. So it's also created public class, copy file, main. It's given a call to this copy file, and this copy file is below this. That's good. Interesting. So yeah, so this is just now launched. Maybe you can try out. You have to actually apply to get the access and all. But there is something I am very excited about. Okay, I think that's it for my talk. Let me check my slides. No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Oh wow, thank you so much for that very insightful keynote talk about Gen AI, Mr. Vaibhav Malpani. And I'm certain that everyone has learned something new from you. So we have seen that generative AI can generate a rain in Manila. So it's very timely because it's raining, and even a Batman in a unicorn. So it's very hilarious, but it can generate with the generative AI. So that's cool though. So up next, from generative AI, we'll now be talking about analytics. So for our next speaker, he is a data analytics professional and digital insights manager that is based from the Philippines. Let us call on Darwin Tacobansa to speak about digital analytics and insights. So let us give him a big round of applause, please. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. I couldn't put something. So I'm Darwin. So my travel time is 1 hour. I came from the south, southern traffic, coming from Laguna area to here. So it's good to see everyone here. Thank you for your time, taking the time to be here in Google I/O Extended Manila. So again, my name is Darwin, and I work closely with clients for creating and generating valuable insights or actionable insights. So we understand, or we try to understand and analyze trends and even key activities of customers and users online. So that's what I do. So we will talk about digital analytics and insights. So we all know that information is coming from every sources. From the start of your day, let's say you wake up in the morning. What I do usually is I check my emails. So there's a lot of emails, there's a lot of social media notifications, and even call from my wife. So I miss that call. Okay. So according to a former CEO from Google, there's 5 exabytes of information created from the dawn of civilization until 2003, but it broke out. So that amount of information is created every 2 days. So that's a trivia. So once you go into Google search, everything is monitored. So from the search terms that you're looking for, the items you do or browse online or online shopping. That's some related terms. So you can try to search Google Trends. So in Google Trends, you can see from a worldwide perspective, even for local perspective, for even in the Philippines, you can see what people are looking for in terms of search. In the Philippines, when I did this presentation, they are looking for how to register their SIM card. So there was a deadline for SIM card registration. I don't know yet, but they're looking for SIM registration. Top two is ChatGPT. Then Smart and Globe, for Smart and Globe users, they're looking for how to register my SIM card. Okay. So last July 6, 2023, is a milestone. Okay. So in the Philippines alone, we are looking for top two terms. And what are those terms? The first one is threads. Anyone here in threads? Do you have a how many threads? I don't have, but I'm invaded. But there's around 100,000 searches from threads on that day. Secondly, speak now. Speak now from Taylor Swift. So there's a lot of searches, and during that day, I think they're looking for tickets. Anyone here secured a ticket for her concert? So in Google Trends, you can also see web search, video searching, shopping, even use and images. You can also use image to search for text. So just take a picture of that item. If you don't know what that item is called, then Google or the search engine will automatically, let's say, recommend what's that item for. So last year, there's around 89 billion searches worldwide. That's how many times Google is visited every month. Okay. In terms of searches per day, that's roughly around 8.5 billion. And also last year, which is for my voice system. So using the Google Lens, which is the search for images, so that's around 8 billion. In US alone, there's around 63% of searches coming from your mobile device. Then 84% of searchers are using Google 3 times a day. I don't know what's the population here, the demographic. I use it more than 3 times a day, especially at work. 46% of product searches begins at Google search. Example, you don't know what that item or you're looking for an item. So you start with search actually. That's 46%. And there's around less than 1% of searchers, after they're searching for something, they are looking for the second page. But that's really, especially when you do a search, the first page is really sufficient. Diba? That's right. So in the terms of analytics, we try to extract valuable information, data-driven or create data-driven decision. And also some organizations want to optimize their digital presence. So analytics will help them to achieve these goals. So really there's a value in information, as you mentioned a while ago. In the perspective of a business, they're looking for comprehensive insights. Okay, so it's not any more information. I mean, you can gather it from anywhere, but they're looking for something to do or something to do about the information that they have. So they want actionable and comprehensive insight. So as they want to innovate on their digital marketing campaigns and even on giving their customer a better experience. So those are what organizations are looking for right now. And according to a customer experience strategist, we are surrounded by data, but nowadays we starve from insight. So how do we gather insight? It's from gathering enough information, relevant information, and even valuable information to create an insight. When we say insight, this is another term for action, or let's say a vision, or what will I do after knowing this data? So this is the trend. What will I do next? So that's what insight means. So according to a former HP CEO, she mentioned that the goal is to turn data into information and information into insight. So there are two approaches here to create a data-driven decision, or even in the space of digital marketing and even in analytics. First one of them is the architectural approach, especially for those organizations that are not into cloud already, or we will consider Google or other cloud providers to provide or create this solution. So we can start from there. We can develop architecture to design what you call a data pipeline. So the concept of data warehouse will be applicable in this area. So when we are creating this data pipeline, we start from reliable sources of information or data sources. We ingest it into the system. Just a second. I think it's raining so hard yesterday, so my voice is not cooperating with me right now. But after you have the proper or the enough sources of information, we will now proceed with data transformation or processing. We process data. And then here comes the analytics and machine learning part. Though other companies and organizations will not consider machine learning yet, analytics can become a valuable, say, process here for us to generate insights and activation. So that's what you call a data pipeline. So in parallel, there's services that are running in the background. We call them security, orchestration, monitoring, and governance. So other than data analytics and even data engineers and data scientists, there are people behind the background that are working on this area. So you can also work with data security, orchestration, and even monitoring, and even data governance. So that's the holistic view of the data warehouse. I would like to share also, is that, okay, this reference architecture, but it's quite overwhelming for now. So let's go on a detailed level. So for example, the data is coming from or in-house from Google or even public cloud data. So these are your sources of information. So example, let's say your digital marketing is happening on the Google. It could come from YouTube ads, Google advertisement or Google ads, Google Analytics, and even Google Marketing Platform. Those are examples of Google and even other first-party software as a service platform. Or your data could be coming from a public source. So once you have these data sources, we will create the architecture around GCP or Google Cloud Platform. And one of the popular service in GCP is what you call Google BigQuery. So I have the sources, now we will ingest it on the system. So Google Query will take this information into the GCP platform for us to have a processing and transform. Okay, so data flow and data prop will help us process this data. For example, the data is so messy. Okay, so you want to extract only the valuable information that you want to get. So you remove the outliers, you remove the redundancies, and even the repetitive lines of information. This will be taken care of with these services in GCP. Data flow and data pro are some examples of them. So if you want to implement machine learning, that's another example. Earlier we were talking about Vertex AI. We were talking about BigQuery and AutoML tables. We will also discuss this later on. So once everything is processed and done, this will be fed on the insights and activation part. So we can implement that by using another service from Google, which is Google Looker. And then for activation part, we can fine-tune our marketing strategies going back to YouTube ads. For example, you created this marketing campaign in YouTube ads, and you discovered in Looker that it's not working well. So you're not reaching the right audience. So after that, we can create what you call an activation part, which is this is an event-driven part of the architecture where if you want to increase your profit, or let's say more people will discover these ads, or you target the ads for the right people, that is the insight or the value of this architecture. On the other hand, there will be data that is coming from the on-premise, or let's say the data is coming from in-house or internal. This will be processed not directly by BigQuery, but we can utilize the cloud storage. So this processing will happen first on the cloud storage, then we can create a triggering event in cloud functions before reaching it to Google BigQuery. After that, the same thing will happen on this architecture. So hopefully that makes sense. So if the companies are looking for solutions and they're not yet on GCP or even in cloud platform, they can consider this architectural approach. But if they happen to have this architecture, we can look now closely on component solutions. So we will talk this one by one. So let's say your data sources. So one approach on creating a data-driven insight is first, where is the data coming from? So that's the first thing or the question that we will answer. Is it coming from Google? Is it coming from a software as a service? Is it public or publicly available? Is it an in-house? So let's say I'm working on the bank right now. So most of the data is coming from the bank. So the data is just circulating around our institution. So it's not publicly available. So all of these sources or data sources will now go on BigQuery. So BigQuery will be responsible on handling this data, this tremendous amount of data. So to give you a better perspective, in the Google Marketing Platform, we are discovering or monitoring a lot of events in searches. One of them, search ads we're monitoring on that one. How you consume video in YouTube. What kind of videos you're watching on YouTube, you know yourself. So for example, I love watching cat videos because we have cats and pets at home. So the YouTube knows my demographic or the tags that I have. So it's also monitoring the tags. So for example, the video has its own tag. So what is this video for? So that the marketing campaigns can clearly target this audience. Even on our, let's say, survey forms, and even on optimizing website. So I'm also closely working with website content. So we're checking on, let's say, if you're familiar with A/B testing in a website. So we're looking for, let's say, site version A, then site version B, which version performs better. So that's an example of this digital analytics. So a while ago, we mentioned on-premise data. So prior to going into BigQuery, we store this temporarily on the cloud storage. Then once it's processed and done, cloud functions will create these triggers. It will send on the BigQuery service. Data processing, some examples, data exploration, data cleansing, and data preparation. For developers, you can consider data fusion as service in GCP for developers. For data engineers, data flow. For data analytics or data analysts, who's not into coding, for example, you're not really into coding but you want to process data, you can consider data prep. In terms of analytics, there are three common steps that we are considering for. Let's say you want your marketing or you want to analyze your marketing or digital presence or digital marketing campaigns. There are three approaches on analyzing this. So I think the most basic part is the descriptive analytics because we're answering the question what happened to our campaign. So let's say you want to create a bar chart. Yeah, so that's a common example. What happened to the mean, median, and mode, and some other measures of variability. But this is just a first step. Actually, if you want to improve on something, or let's say digital marketing efforts, we will, or organizations needs to go further from being descriptive into predicting what might happen, which is part of the predictive analytics part. In this example, let's say you want to know your customers, or you want to segment your customers, which among this population is the most loyal group of customers. You want to categorize them. You want to segment your customers. For those who are viewing these ads, or they're viewing these marketing campaigns, even we can measure in this predictive analytics the lifetime value. So you want to take care of this group of customers. Another example could be a postpaid plan. Um, Digital marketing or digital analytics can be a good use case. For example, you want to check if this postpaid user will renew their contract for the next 2 years. So that's the customer lifetime value and even profit forecasting. In terms of prescriptive analytics, this is quite difficult for some companies because it requires a lot of time to analyze and even research. So if this will answer the question, how to make this happen. So some use cases like customer segmentation, sentiment analysis, and product development for those who are working with creating new products or new digital products. This is a good analytical approach in understanding or creating these marketing campaigns. You can also add machine learning for those who are new in machine learning. There's a service in GCP which is called AutoML. So for example, you really don't have idea at all. So there are pre-trained models available in AutoML. You can experiment on this for the AutoML. For data engineers, it's perfect for BigQuery. For data scientists, Vertex AI. It's a service for them. Then insights and activation can be done using Looker. I will have a short demo for it. I think we can create a short demo on Looker. Yeah. So right now I'm on BigQuery. So this is my account. I'm only paying for free. So for now I cannot check bigger data sets because it comes with a cost. So let's say $5 per sorry, per run. So in this example, I run a Google Trend query for the day. So for the day, it's or for the last 7 days. So today is July 22, 21. Okay. So on the query result, if you can see, this is the popular search term worldwide. So the top 10 is. So what I think many people are interested in soccer. I'm not a fan. But if you want to understand it on a better perspective, you can click on this explore data portion, which is on the lower right. If you click here, Looker Studio, it will prompt a look or Looker. So this example, it shows the top 10 terms for the last 7 days. Powerball UFC. Anyone here fan of UFC? Mexico versus Jamaica. I think that's the teams that competing with soccer. So that's how Looker looks like. For prescriptive analytics or even predictive analytics, you can check on Colab Notebook, which is another option from Looker Studio, Colab Notebook. It will eventually prompt you to a Google Looker, sorry, Colab. So here I did a few Python code for a word cloud. So it shows which is the top search for the last 7 days. So the biggest word is the largest search term for the week. So that's powerful. Then there are tiny words that are searched for let's say the size depends on the number of searches. That's the right term. So for a more sophisticated, let's say look. So we call this look. So this is looker. The graph is called look. So and this look, we analyze some analytics from the June 22nd until June 2021. What happened on this marketing campaign? So there are some KPIs mentioned. So let's say, oh, is that working? I'll remove this properties. Okay, so let's zoom in a while. So some KPIs. So there are 21,000 users reach from this campaign, but on the predictive side or prescriptive side, it's down from 66.6%. So we don't know why yet it happened, but this will be further question or research. 74% down on clicks. Page views is 92,000. So it's down with 70%. Bounce rate, when you say bounce rate, you check on the web page, then you immediately drop out from the page. So that's around 7.9. Actually, it's a good number. Yeah. So click or CTR, 64%, and cost per conversion. For example, you reach one customer, it only costs you $1.52. So that's around 27%. So some better visualization. For example, you want to understand the geographic performance of that campaign. So I think the top one here is United States, 9,000 sessions, then 52,000 views. So this is only the top 10. So United States, India. So it will show you that this look will display how that marketing campaign performed on a geographical level. You can also drop it down with some categories here and also campaigns on, let's say, how many of them directly view that page and how many of them are paid search. So when we say direct, that's another term for organic reach. Okay? So we're talking about marketing campaigns here. Then engagement by gender, you can also display how many of them are on this particular gender. You can also add other diversities if that's available on that data set. But on the age group, you can categorize them from 18 years old to 24 years old until from 65 years old. So I think millennials, millennials are viewing this 25 to 34. So I think I'm still on that bracket, 25 to 34. For switch term categories, you can also use tree map. So most of the search is coming from or looking for a software or a business and productivity software. And the second to that is consumer electronics or mobile phones. So that's a 2,600 session. So just a few notes. You can also use machine learning for big queries. So once you have the enough data set, you can train a model for predicting. For example, you can create a model using this example SQL. This is available in my GitHub account. Creating model. Then once you create the model, let's evaluate that model. For example, in this term, and then prediction. How many of this will, so the purpose of this prediction model is to predict how many from the audience will purchase from this particular website. So that's an example. So I already did the looker output. Okay. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can add me on my social accounts. And I can end with this quote from a famous entrepreneur. the best vision is insight. So once you have actionable item, you have enough information and you gather, say, enough information to create these actionable insights, we can help organizations to give them more vision because let's say this business and even executives really don't have um, let's say care. Sorry, that's not the right term, but they're actually blind. So they need their help or our help to make them, let's say, give actions for them. So when we are presenting, we give them a lot of data. So this is what's happening. This is what you can do based on these trends. So this is what happened last month. We can do this. Let's say reduce the cost, increase the profit, increase the marketing campaigns, our reach. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time.
The best vision is inside. Thank you so much, Mr. Darwin Tagobansa, for that insightful talk about digital analytics and insights. Indeed, it's all about what you will do next about that insight. So, guys, if you need to zoom in the presentation for the people at the back, you can access our YouTube page, YouTube channel, and FB page, that is Google Developer Group PH and Google Developers Group Philippines. And I know some of you guys are coffee lovers out here, maybe thirsty. Now's the perfect time to strike up conversations, exchange ideas, and make new connections while you sip on your favorite coffee creations. Who knows? What's next is we'll be collaborating with your perfect programmer partner. But before that, we'll be having a group photo first. So I guess how we will be take a photo. So I think you won't need to stand up. For those who are left side, so you can move right here so you can see on the picture. And for the speaker, you can move forward here. So yeah. All right, so we'll take a picture first before our coffee break. So let's take a photo for remembrance for today's event. For the speakers, you can go in the front. For volunteers as well, so you can move in the center. All right, so we'll take a picture so you can shout Google I/O instead of Manila. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, wait lang daw.
Camera po natin tingin. Ready, 1, 2. One more.
Waki, we'll take a video. So we will shout Google I/O Extended Manila 2023, alright? So we'll take a video first for remembrance. Alright, on a count of three. Google I/O Extended Manila. Okay na ba yan? Okay. Isa pa pa. 2023. Google I/O Extended Manila 2023. Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Google I/O Extended Manila 2023. Alright, thank you so much. Enjoy your coffee break. But remember guys, clean as you go.